This is a vodcast to review proof by contradiction or an indirect proof. So I have up here the four basic elements that are part of every indirect proof. And the first one is to assume the negation of what it is you're trying to prove. The second thing is to do a deductive proof as you would a direct proof, but that deductive reasoning is going to lead to a contradiction. Usually it's something in the given. Most of our proofs will be something in the given or some other well-known fact, a postulate or another theorem. And then we want to write a really good, clear conclusion. So I'm going to do this proof as an example. This is some triangle ABC, and I've got angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, and AD does not bisect angle CAB. Prove that segment AB is not congruent to segment AC. So the first thing I'm going to do is assume, and I really want to indicate to the reader of this proof right at the very beginning with this assume step that I am going to be proving it by an indirect proof. So if you write this at the very beginning of your proof, it makes it really clear to the reader that that's the method you're using, because it sets them up to really be following your logic well. So I think that's an important thing to communicate when you do it. So assume AB is congruent to AC. I'm going to do the rest of this kind of like as a two-column proof. So 1, I'm going to write that down again. AB is congruent to AC, and I'm going to write as a reason assumed. Even though I just wrote it down, you can put that later in the proof if you want to. But 2, angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. And I'm going to write that as a given. 3, BD is congruent to CD. That is, I'll remember these things. That statement is the converse of the base angle theorem. I can also say that AD is congruent to AD. That is reflexive. Five, triangle ABD is congruent to triangle ACD. Let's see if I've got all the necessary elements for that. I've got a pair of sides there. AB congruent to AC. I've got BD and CD. BD and CD, and I have AD is congruent to AD. That's side, side, side. It looks like I've got it. So it is by side, side, side. 6, I could say that BAD angle BAD is congruent to angle CAD. If triangles are congruent, then the corresponding angles are congruent. 7, that means that AD bisects angle BAC, CAB I'll call it. And that's the definition of angle bisector. Well, that contradicts something that's in the given. So here's my conclusion. So I wrote, this contradicts something that's stated in the given above. That means, and I'm going to write this out in a clear conclusion. This last statement contradicts the given that AD does not bisect that angle CAB. So how could that happen? So the assumption must be false. Right? That assumption must be true. This is either true or false, this statement up here. Well, if it leads to a false conclusion, then it must be false. Therefore, AB is not congruent to AC. So I really want to see people pointing out the contradiction clearly and writing the conclusion completely. That's it.